All right, guys, we are back. This is K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I'm your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and we are talking about fixing and flipping remodeling versus buy and hold remodeling. So a property you're going to fix and flip and sell versus a property you're going to fix and hold as a rental property. So before we went to commercial break, we were talking about the BRRRR strategy. So the BRRRR strategy, if you're just tuning in, stands for, it's B with 3 R's. And some people put 4 R's, letter R's. B stands for buy. The first R stands for rehab. The next R stands for rent, which you're going to rent to a tenant. And then the last R stands for refinance. And people will put another R, which is repeat. Okay, so basically you're going to buy the property, you're going to remodel the property, you're going to rent it out, and then you're going to refinance out of the initial loan that you used when you first bought the property. Okay, so this particular strategy allows you to purchase a property that you find that's undervalued. Now, whether it's an opportunity that's presented to you or one that you've gone out and found, or maybe someone tells you that they're tired of being a landlord and they want to sell their rental property but it's trashed, and you are looking for a rental property yourself, so you're going to utilize what's called typically a hard money loan or a private loan. You're going to get one of these hard money loans to purchase the property cash so that you can do it very, very quickly. And the reason why you want to do that is oftentimes if you present a cash offer to a seller, they don't have the worry of having to get the home appraised now. See, a house is going to go get a buyer is going to buy a home. They're going to put it under contract. But if they have to go out and leverage financing, get a loan from the bank, that bank is going to send an appraiser out to the house to confirm the value is actually what it is of what you guys are under contract for. And if it's not, then there's a hiccup in your negotiations, right? Now the house isn't even worth as much as you are looking to buy it. The seller's bummed because he thinks his house is worth more. You're now bummed because the deal might die unless he's willing to come down to the new appraised value. So when an appraiser is involved, there is a little bit of, possibilities of a hiccup. However, if no appraiser is involved, because you don't need a loan, because you're going to pay cash for the property, then sellers typically are more lenient on selling these types of properties to you at a discount because they don't have to worry about the appraisal. And more typically, importantly, is because if you already have the cash, which hard money lenders already do, and you don't have to wait 45 days for a bank to finance the deal, to go through the financing process and get the loan. For those of you who purchased or sold a home, you know it's typically 30 to 45 days before you're going to be able to close on the sale. Well, if the cash is already available because some hard money lender already has it, then you can fund transactions in 7 days, 5 days. Yeah, I've purchased a home from the time we went under contract and closed in as little as 3 days. I have some friends that have done it in 24 hours. They locked under contract today and were closing the next day because title was free and clear and they didn't have to worry about any worries on complications with the closing, and money was available. And so this type of quick transaction, quick closing, oftentimes sellers are more open to getting their funds, not having to wait 30 to 45 days. They're oftentimes more lenient on the price if you're willing to be able to give them their funds quicker. So if you can say, hey, listen, because the house is a little rough around the edges, I'm going to have to make some repairs, but I can close this transaction literally in a week from today or 5 days from today, depending on however fast you want to propose that negotiation. I can give you your money if you're willing to take this particular offer. And in many cases, these offers do get accepted. In many cases, they don't as well, right? Some people are not motivated by speed. They're motivated by the amount. However, there's still a lot of people that are, the value of selling to you isn't the amount. They don't need a ton of money. They need it now. They need the money that they're going to get now. For whatever reason, speed is the value, not the amount. So you have to cater to the seller's needs. Is there a need the amount, or is there a need the speed? If it's the amount, then there's creative financing that you can offer more money, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about the BRRRR strategy. So in this particular case, you're going to offer a fast closing, and so you're going to give them their need, which is money quickly, speed. So basically, you're going to purchase this with a hard money loan utilizing speed, and you're going to close this transaction really, really fast. Now, good rule of thumb is you don't want a ton of big ticket items that you're going to have to remodel. So roof is a big ticket item. Water heater, HVAC, which is the heating and cooling, which is your furnace or air conditioner, or massive amounts of electrical or massive amounts of plumbing. These can be big ticket items. And the rule of thumb is if you purchase a home that you're going to keep as a rental, you want to minimize the amount you spend, you typically don't want to have more than one big ticket item in a rental property. So if you're going to buy something that has some challenges, and let's just say it's the roof, you're going to negotiate accordingly to the price that you're going to need, because you now have to fix a big ticket item, but you don't want to fix more than that because you're going to have then too much money invested in the deal in just remodeling costs. You've already invested in the purchase. Now you don't want to dump more money if you don't have to in the remodeling. Okay, where a fix and flip, you can dump as much as you want because, again, if you're just tuning in, we talked about how a fix and flip property, if you have to fix the roof, if you have to fix the heating and cooling, the furnace, the water heater, electrical, plumbing, it's okay as long as it fits your budget. It's okay because an average flip takes about 4 months. So in 4 months, all this money you're spending, you're just going to get right back in a very short period of time. A rental property you're going to hold for years and years and years. You don't want to spend, $10,000 on the roof and $4,000 on new AC unit and air conditioner and furnace and then another $1,000 on a water heater and then another $3,000 on electrical and another $4,000 on plumbing. It's going to take a long time to get 20. If you spent all of that money, you're looking at 20 plus thousand in just remodeling costs, and if your cash flow is only, like we talked about earlier, $50 a month, think about how many months it's going to take you to get that $20,000 back. So we want to keep these big ticket items down to a minimum. If there's more, if you're looking at an investment property because you can get a good deal on it, and there's more than one big ticket item, you may want to consider flipping that property. Then it's okay, like we said, to go ahead and spend all that money. You're just going to get it right back in a very short period of time. If there's one big ticket item or less, then that could be a great opportunity for a rental. Okay, so now you've used a hard money loan to purchase it, then you are now in the process of remodeling it. This is the BRRRR strategy for rentals that you're going to buy and hold and keep. So now you've gone through the process of remodeling the home, you've kept your expenses very low, and now it's time to turn around and immediately rent it out to a tenant because it's now rent ready. So you got a good deal on it, you minimize the remodeling cost, and now you're renting it out because this is a good investment for a buy and hold. Now you've got your tenant in there, but while you're looking for your tenant, you also start the process of getting in contact with a loan officer, mortgage broker, whoever, who's going to help you refinance the old hard money loan out. See, hard money loans are typically expensive loans. They have high interest rates, but they're short-term loans. They're loans typically designed for a 6-month period. This allows you to get your house if you're going to flip it or do the BRRRR strategy to buy it, remodel it, and then either turn around and sell it or turn around and refinance in about 6 months. Typically that 6-month window will be enough time. So these short-term 6-month loans, and sometimes they can be 12 months, and depending on your relationship with the hard money lender, they can be very, very flexible actually, but typically they're 6 months long. So you're going to now need to get rid of this 6-month loan because the hard money lender wants his money back. The term was 6 months. When you buy a house, your mortgage is typically 30 years with a traditional financing. When you buy a house using a hard money lender, your length of time is typically 6 months. And that's okay because at 15, 12, 13, 14, 15% interest, you want to get rid of that loan as quickly as possible anyway. And with interest rates so low where they are now, you want to be able to refinance that hard money loan into a traditional loan where they're 3%, 4%. I'm not sure what they are for investment properties exactly today, but you're going to be around 4 to 5% for a second house for an investment property, depending on your credit, of course, depending on your income, all that good stuff, your credit history. But that's a lot better than 12 to 15%, if that makes sense. So now your monthly payment's going to be dramatically smaller because you went from a 15% interest rate down to, let's say, a 5% interest rate. And then this particular property now, you got one, a discount on the property. Two, you were able to close it quickly because you utilize a hard money loan, minimize the amount of renovation, and three, now you're refinancing into a traditional loan that you can hold long term, whether it's forever or whether it's for 5, 6, 7 years,